What's up, guys? All right. So I want to welcome you to VBTV, today's very first episode. Well, what I wanted to do is really introduce myself because I know some of you guys are going to come here for a long time. I'm going to start doing this because, number one, I really want to help more people. I am a real estate investor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a husband. I'm a dad. Like I got a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people in the past have asked me to help them with their real estate stuff. So I run two different companies, well, three companies. U.S. Commercial Assets, U.S. Commercial Capital, which is an acquisition of apartment buildings and real estate. And then I also have Bell Training Technologies, which I created it because I wanted to put out the best programs that I could to help more real estate investors like yourself actually succeed in this game. So a little backdrop on me. If you guys don't know, again, my name is Victor Bell Jr. Best-selling author. I have the three companies that we got, the real estate company, the two real estate companies, as well as a training company for the business programs. I used to run Warhorse Strength Camp. It's the best strength and conditioning coaching facility for MMA fighters, for special forces candidates, for combat athletes like wrestlers, like all that stuff. And here's why that's important, because that was who I was. And I want to share that with you. So while I'm one of the trusted resources out there in the world for high performers in business and athletics and the military, here's the difference. I've been there. I've walked in your shoes. So little backdrop on me. When I was 21 years old, I got out of the military. I went back home to Texas, and yeah, go Texas. And I didn't have any money. I had no money, no contacts. When I got out, I used my military money to go to school, because you guys know you go to military, get your college money for free. And then I failed out in my first semester. Like, I had shitty grades. Like, I cuss. I'll edit this out. But man, that sucked for me, because I knew if I went back, I would have to pay that money back. And I didn't want to do that, right? So I was like, I got to do something. So I started hustling. I started selling drugs. And I never did drugs. I've never been a big advocate of drugs, but I was really good at selling them because, again, I needed money. I saw it as a business. So I grew fast. And along the lines of me growing fast over a couple of years, I would say maybe I was about 23 years old. I got busted, got snitched on, and I almost went to prison. I almost went to jail. Right. So, but during that time, I ended up getting probation. My paperwork was wrong. I said something to the judge. I'll tell that story later. I negotiated my way out of that because that was legit for me. So when that happened, I was like, man, I had to get a job. I had to show up for probation. If you ever been on probation or know somebody's been on probation, or even just know that you got to check in to somebody to be accountable to, right? So you don't lose freedom. You don't lose your time, whether it's your job, whatever. Like, I had to get a job. So within going to work over that first 2 weeks and waiting for my paycheck, taking most of my paycheck, trying to pay bills, paying probation, my probation fees, all of this stuff, I was like, dude, there's got to be more to my life than this, right? So prior to that, when I was hustling, I saw a real estate commercial on TV, you know, those late night infomercials, buy houses, no money down. I think it was Carlton Sheets, right? The dude with the blue sweater over the white shirt, super cool dude. So anyways, when I remember that, and I was like, you know, maybe I can do a business. Maybe I can start real estate stuff. So I went to a bookstore. The bookstore was called Hastings. It was in Austin. And I sat on the floor, and I looked at all the books, and I was like, that one. Because it was like Fast Cash with Real Estate by Ron LeGrand. That was my first book. So I sat down. And I didn't even buy the book, dude. That's how broke I was. I didn't have any money to buy that book because all of my money was gone to gas and all that food and getting to work. So I sat on the floor every day during the week, and I read this book from cover to cover. And I was like, you know, I think I could do this. I mean, reality of it was, I was like, yeah, it's kind of like selling drugs. So the same hustle. So when I did that, eventually I got my paycheck, got the book, and I went to my office, and I sat down in my office where I worked at Hatco Circuits. We made circuit boards. So it was nothing to do with anything. I wasn't a sharp dude. I was literally in manufacturing, right? So I sat there with the phone, the book, and me, the times that I could use it, and I called, and I dialed for dollars. I know this is like in the 90s, like in 96, 97, somewhere in there. And I finally got somebody to take my call because I was calling out of the newspapers. I was doing what the book said. I read the script, and I was like, okay, cool. Dude says, yep, we'll do it. I was like, oh, man, like I don't have any way to get this thing done. So I followed this book, and I kept doing what the book said, right? So no matter what, I'm good at following instructions. I don't want to be the smart dude. I just want to do what you say, and then if I make that work, I feel like I can win. I'll see you through to the end. So I called this guy. As a matter of fact, I started from the A's in the phone book of Austin and got all the way to the S's before I got somebody to even listen to me, because I didn't even know what the hell I was doing, right? The book just said call and ask for REO departments and mortgage companies and all these different things. And I just didn't know. I had no idea. So I got to Bob. His name is Bob Leonetti. Bob was like, dude, how'd you get this phone number? Because he was in a meeting. And I asked for the owner of the company or whatever. So he was like, so you started in the A's and got all the way to the S's in the phone, the yellow pages of Austin in the phone book. I was like, yeah. And he was like, you know, that's impressive. Why don't you do this? Do you even know what you're doing? And I was like, no. And he's like, come to my office. So I was like, okay, good. So he's like, be at my office tomorrow at 2:30. 2:15, I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting to talk to him and get it. I got there early, 15 minutes early. So I'm sitting in the parking lot. I go upstairs at 2:30. He's there, and he's like, cool. We sit down. Super cool guy. Office. Everybody's doing it. It was called Success Mortgage at the time. So I sit down with Bob, and Bob was like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to come in every day, and I want you to learn from me. I want you to listen to me. The book that you read is by Ron LeGrand. I work in the seminar space. I'm in the seminar circuit. I teach note buying. I teach real estate. I teach this stuff. I want you to come in. I want you to sit down every day, and I want you to learn from me. And I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, so apparently you have a deal. What's the deal? So I told him the details. He's like, how many more properties do they have? And I was like, shit, man, I don't know. I didn't know to ask that. He's like, yeah, go back and ask them. So I go back and I ask this guy, hey, look, I'm interested in stuff. I still can get this thing done. How many more properties do you have for sale? The guy had 300 properties. I had no idea that even existed, right? I'm just thinking the dude had 2 or 3 or 1 he's trying to sell me in the newspaper. So I was like, how many more are you willing to sell me if I can take them all? And he was like, you know, let me think about it. Let me talk to my brother, right? Guy named Junior. Junior goes back, talks to his brother. We talk again on the phone. And he goes, look, I got about 24 to 25 properties that we're willing to sell if you're willing to buy them, but you'd have to buy all of them if you're going to do that. They're a mix of multifamily, fourplexes, triplexes, duplexes, a sixplex, an eightplex, and a couple of single family houses. And I was like, oh my God. It's like my brain was like, poof. What was I going to do? Because I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I go back to Bob, and Bob's like, look, I'm going to help you structure all this stuff. So within that first year, we closed. I got a partner. Bob introduced me to a partner. We closed these deals. We closed $1.8 million in deals. And I'll tell you why I remember that. Or $1.2 million in deals. I remember because at 800 and so thousand, I started getting nervous as it relates to those numbers, what that looked like. Again, we're talking about broke 23, 24-year-old on probation, was supposed to be at his job, because I quit my job when I met Bob. I was like, I'm going to come here every day. I'm going to make this work, because that ain't work. That's not living. That's struggling. And I don't want that kind of struggle, right? So we closed these deals. And I can tell you, man, I learned a lot within that time. So negotiating from zero, starting off as a broke dude with no contract, no contacts, no contract, because I know what the hell I was doing. No connection with anybody, any money. Nobody who I was around was doing what I was doing. I came from a world of selling drugs, getting out in the military with no background, no college, no nothing. I had to make my life work. So if you're anything like me and you had to make your life work and you're getting into real estate now, I get it. You may have a job. You may have a business. You may have already attended a ton of real estate stuff. But here's what they don't teach you at those real estate seminars, because I didn't learn this there. Even though you know how to do something doesn't mean you're going to be successful at it. I remember going to seminars and they would say, who's done a deal? And I would raise my hand. And I would be sitting in the front. I believe in sitting in the front of seminars. One, because I can't see shit when I'm wearing my glasses and stuff, and I want to be in the front. And two, I was taught that the most successful people that go to seminars sit in the front. So I've always wanted to be in a successful group. Sat in front. So I would raise my hands, get the microphone. Well, I just closed another real estate deal, or I just bought a small apartment building, or I bought another building, or I flipped a pretty house. And then I would hand the mic back, sit down, and everyone would clap. And then I would look back, and I would be the only person. I didn't know that that wasn't normal to succeed in this business. Here's why I succeeded. One, I learned how to negotiate because I didn't have anything. So any creative financing, anything I learned from some seminar, I had to put it into play. And I couldn't do it by promising something that I didn't know that I was going to be able to get done. Hold on. That's my thing. Right? So not knowing that put me in a situation where I had to learn a different skill than everyone else. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any rich friends. I didn't have any rich family members. It was all on me. So when I learned how to do this game, negotiation, number one skill, learning how to close. It's one thing to negotiate, and it's another thing to get people to sign. You show up, you have a great conversation. You're on the phone, you're on a text message, whatever it is nowadays. I don't believe in text. I will never buy a building text messaging someone. I just won't do it. I don't believe in that, right? Money's too important to me. So I negotiate a deal. The next phase of that is how do I get them to sign on the deal that we created without them drawing back, pulling away, not wanting to sign, coming back and trying to sue me for something that they didn't understand because I didn't make it clear. I need to know how to negotiate. Then I need to know how to close. And not just one closing strategy. Closing and selling are two different things. Closing is a conversation that you have that gets people to make a decision. I believe, because I'm a closer, I will close the deal. Closing the deal means closing the person. The person just closes. People close deals, not deals close deals. But I understand that concept. I'm going to teach that to you guys. I'm always going to talk about that, man. It's so important. Next, I understood the flow of money. I understand that if I negotiate a good deal, once I get the deal needs to be right. I need to love the deal. I got to sell that deal to someone else. Sell it, not sell it contractually, but sell it mentally to somebody to buy from me. If you can't do that, if you can't negotiate, you can't close, you can't sell somebody on an idea, on the property that you have, the project that you have, the business that you have, the rates that you're negotiating on, the investors to invest what you do, you ain't going to be able to do it. I had to learn that skill. I had to hone that skill. That wasn't just some random thing that I knew how to do because I sold drugs. Right? And last but not least, I needed to learn how to lead and manage people. Like when I say lead and manage people, I'm a visionary. I push hard. People don't like working with me because I'm like, dude, let's get this done. Because what am I thinking? I'm under a time constraint. All of real estate usually has a timeline. You either get this done or you don't. You miss an opportunity, you miss a window. I treat it like life or death if you're going to be in real estate, right? Most people don't do that. They're playing around because they got some other way. They got other means of income. I've always used, like I said, residential especially as an ATM machine. If I can do this, I can get this done quickly, I'm going to win. The fast always eat the slow. You look at nature, you look at lions, you look at tigers, you look at cheetahs. They eat slow animals because they're fastest. You figure that is the difference maker in this thing. So again, I wanted to share that with you as an introduction of who I am and why I'm qualified. I've negotiated and closed on millions of dollars of real estate. I've negotiated and closed on millions of dollar contracts. I've negotiated millions of mortgages. Because I get properties, I go and I read, I've negotiated off debt. Well, I'll discuss about that. When you have negotiate things off, I learned that stuff, right? I had to understand how to create money sometimes that wasn't there. So I learned that. I negotiate my own leases. I negotiate on cars. I negotiated on clothes. I negotiated, like when I used to hustle, all of it. If you can't negotiate and have a good conversation with people, you can't succeed. And in this business of real estate investing, if you think I'm just going to show up and I'm going to pay full price and I'm hope that's speculating. I don't speculate. I negotiate. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Don't speculate, negotiate, because you get what you negotiate. You keep what you kill in this business. So if you're a person that's going to run this business, you learn from me, learn from somebody else. I always teach negotiation, closing strategies in my businesses. In my programs that you're going to learn, all my daily content, things that I talk about with you guys, if you come to my seminars, trainings, events, immersion camps, we talk about negotiation, closing. We talk about selling. I call it buy or die, right? Sales training for buyers as a real estate investor. You're going to have to learn how to be first in your marketplace. So if you're going to market, I always want to be first. I don't want you to go to some agent first before you get the opportunity to talk to me about buying your property. Why list it when you can sell it? Come to me first. So I want to be first in the seller's mind, the owner's mind, whether it's they're not selling now, whether they want to sell in the future. Dude, that's our responsibility to succeed. And I also understand the amount of energy that it takes to do this business. Most people that don't have to succeed because they got a job, they got another business kicking off a bunch of money, I just tell them, dude, invest your money into somebody who has the time to do this because it takes 20 times more effort than you think to succeed as a real estate investor full time, right? Unless you're just playing there's no passive game. You're still going to have to pick up the phone. You're going to have to call people. You're going to have to take a look. You're going to have to manage people because, like I said, you got to have to learn to lead and push people. So if you aren't going to play this game at 100% with all of the effort required to succeed, you can't win. All right? So a lot of shit happening on my side. So that said, that was our introduction. Most of my introductions ain't going to have a ton of interruptions. But again, this is a real office for me. I'm taking phone calls. I'm calling brokers. I'm having conversations with owners and sellers. I'm going to meetings. So what I do is within the timelines of really wanting to help you understand the mission of why I want to help you, because I want you to make money, because again, I want to create friends and investors in my game, in my world, for 10 years down the road, so we can invest together, or I can invest with you. If you find a deal, I want to help you. If I find a deal, I want to be able to turn to you guys and say, hey, look, I got a deal, man. If you're interested, let's do it. Or I got 4 programs. I got 4 good programs right now. Negotiate or Lose. I got Buy or Die, which is the sales training for buyers. I have, what was the other one? The 20X effect. The energy required to actually succeed in this game. If you want to go to the millions in your business, you're going to have to do 20 times the work. All right. But I have a system for that because I use it myself, use it on other people, and I created it. Then the other one was Be First, because nothing else matters. It's our sales and position. It's our positioning, sales, and marketing program for real estate investors. Dude, you ain't going to learn this at some seminar. You're going to go to all the seminars. They're going to tell you, hey, here's how you do it. Here's how you look for houses. Here's how you find houses. Here's how you evaluate apartment buildings. Here's how you find commercial deals. Here's how you evaluate those things. This is all the fancy stuff that makes you look smart. But what's missing is the skill set, the gas that you pour into your Ferrari so you can get to the end game. Like, I know everyone likes the journey. I'm not that type of guy. I like the end game. I want to buy properties, own properties, make money, and I want to help you do the same thing. Can't get there if you won't get there. All right. This is Vic. Man, first, I talk fast. I love you guys. And I want to say this. Listen faster. You have to learn to be able to take in information faster than the person next to you, because that's how you're going to win. You're going to execute faster because you can outthink them, outperform them. So while I'm talking fast, that's going to be required. You may not talk fast, but you better learn to listen fast. So the faster I go, the more I can get in and we can get things done. All right. So this is Vic. Thanks for watching the first introduction of today's VBTV. Introducing myself, why we're doing what we're doing, how I want to help you, and how I can help you in the future. So if you have questions, concerns, if you have anything that you want me to cover, put it in the comments and stuff like that below with this video. Hit me up on Facebook at Victor Bell Jr. You can also go to my Facebook page, Victor Bell Jr., and hit me up, follow me, and I'll take care of you, I promise. Whatever I got, if you have a question about real estate, negotiation, closing, marketing, positioning yourself, all of it, let's go, man. I want to definitely help you, all right? Let's talk soon. We'll get this thing done. Boom.